Hello, everyone. You're now with me, Pitcha, the host of the English Daily News podcast. This podcast channel will guide you to learn some English words and news perspective at the same time. In the first episode, you will learn and see how the conflict between two European countries, Russia and Ukraine, their economics and human have been impacted in several countries recently. We are now facing the highest price of the gas, which is the main cause from the war. Let's begin with the World History War, which is the Ukraine and Russian invasion. First, let's begin with the brief story of the war. The president of Russian and Ukraine war hidden history. The current Russian president is Vladimir Putin, a controversial, hardworking, and strong politician, which led him to be a president for Russia nowadays. One of his main goals is to invade the country of Ukraine. He is well known as a greedy president for people around the world. Ukraine used to be one of Soviet Union members and turned to be one of Democrats. Armed conflict in eastern Ukraine erupted in early 2014, following Russia's annexation of Crimea, Ukraine Peninsula. The previous year, protests in Ukraine's capital Kyiv against Ukrainian President Viktor. His decisions was rejected for a deal greater economic integration with the European Union, with a violent crackdown by state security forces. The protests widened, escalating the conflict, and President was fled in the country of February 2014. Moreover, Ukraine has been the target of thousands of cyber attacks. In December 2015, more than 225,000 people lost power across Ukraine in an attack of power generation, following a similar attack targeting a Ukraine utility company. The war has impacted women and children in social cohesion, community security, and the resilience of local communities. Now let's move to the second part, the news summary from BBC. There are a lot of people left under the rubble, the news headline said. Borodyanka is a town in Kyiv, Ukraine. It is one of the towns which were destroyed badly from the war. The destructions in the center of Borodyanka is a world for its sights. I have seen in any of the towns around Kyiv, including Irpin and Bucha, which were much fought over. Down the main street from the roundabout at the entrance to the town, there is a massive amount of damage. Destroyed and burnt out building homes turned to be the rubble, the twisted wreckage of cars, and then more collapsed building. Borodyanka, which is not far from the border with Belarus, and was the main exit of the Russian advance on Kyiv. It has been very heavily shelled, and it is not the kind of shelling that happens in a couple of bombardments. This take application, building damage beyond repair along Borodyanka Main Street. Several witnesses told the BBC that Russian troops stopped attempts to dig the survivors out of wrecked buildings, threatening people who wanted to do at the gunpoint. Ukrainian officials said the Russians may have committed worse atrocity in Borodyanka than in Bucha, where bodies of men looked to have summarily killed were found lying on the street after Russians pulled out, and the several hundred other bodies were in a mass grave. At the moment, the extent of what was done to civilians in Borodyanka during Russian occupation is not yet clear. The reason is that the rubble of bomb sites has not been moved. Those in the town believe the corpses of civilians are lying under them, but the number is not known. The worst killing in Borodyanka might have come when several large blocks of flats were destroyed. In a line of big cream-colored buildings, several have been flattened. The fire-blackened gaps that they occupied are like missing teeth. Tons of concrete and steel collapsed into the cellar under the flats. Several people say dozens of civilians were lying there under the rubble. The police said it could be hundreds. They're waiting for cranes and heavy lifting gear to start moving huge amounts of rubble to recover bodies. Dmytro, a middle-aged man, is lucky to be alive. I met him when he was cleaning up smashed and looted shop he rented out as a pharmacy. Dmytro was one of the people who faced the real situation. His family left Borodyanka on February 24 when the Russians invaded. Dimitrov stayed on to safeguard their property. The Russians were moving tanks and men through the town, so with his neighbors, he spent much of his time in the cellar under their buildings. There as well as night. By the evening of March 1st, he decided that he had to sleep somewhere less exposed to Russians. So he went to another shelter on the edge of the town. When he returned in the morning, the building was rubble and the cellar came back at 8:30 in the morning, and their apartment was already restored. My mom, my wife, and my daughter were all praying for me. Before it all happened, they were all talking about Russian tank columns moving through the city and shooting at everything. I did not believe it at first, but then I saw them shooting at civilian houses. Dimitrovi's Slavana was trying to clear up his mother's destroyed flat in the building next door, which was still standing. She said the Russians stopped attempts to rescue any survivors. They were all our neighbors, she said. Shortly after the attacks, people nearby heard some voices and Russian soldiers stopped them from digging. They threatened to shoot if they tried. There are a lot of people left under the rubble, confirmed another woman, Maria, who was busy sorting mirrors and pictures that could be salvaged and throwing the rest into the skip behind her apartment block. My soul hurts. I knew all those people. We knew they were from the first day, but they wouldn't let I know all those people. Maria and many others told the Russian troops looted their property. The Russians stole everything that glittered, she said. They even took my lingerie. They beat everything, they got everything, it all smashed. Many people left Borodyanka when the invasion began on February 24. A few who have come back were walking around the ruins, dazed and distressed by what they were seeing. Slitvana's Dimitrov's wife, who had just returned on Tuesday morning, sobbed as he saw what had become of her hometown. It was so green, it was really nice. Kids study here. We had 3 schools, a technical and music college. Now we don't have anything. And then she stated, children have lost their childhood, their memories, and everything. Lastly, it is time to learn new words from the news. I will provide English vocabulary, Thai translation, and pronunciation guide. There are 7 new words that you can learn from this episode. First, integration การรวมตัว Second, roundabout วงเวียน Third, burnt out เผาไหม้ Fourth, rubble ซากปรักหักพัง 5. wreckage ความเสียหาย 6. aces แกนกลาง Last one, civilian พลเรือน I hope everyone will learn more about the Ukrainian and Russian conflict that caused a lot of people to the death in a lot of meaningful places for Ukrainian people. In my point of view, this news teach you a lot of your relationship when you are alive. Your family members and your friends are really mean to you, so enjoy your time in your life. Moreover, I hope you enjoyed and understand the vocabulary session. Thank you everyone for joining my English Daily News podcast. If you would like to see the original full text from BBC, please check it out at the website. Bye bye.